everybody. And welcome to our family service at Great Harwood Christian Fellowship. This morning, the service is going to be run by the youth section. It's going to be slightly different to not usual, and we've decided that we would like the Sunday school to stay in this morning, because we are going to need your help a little bit later on. But don't worry, we're going to test the adults, not you. Now, Philippa now is going to come up to the front and lead us in prayer.
Dear Lord, as we come here this morning to praise and worship you, we thank you for giving us this Christian family to help and support each other. We thank you for this building that you provided us all to meet safely. We pray, Lord, that you help the youth from today's service and that you will give us the strength to deliver the message to all the children and the adults. Lord, we pray for the youth of the persecuted church, that you will give them the strength to speak out to other people about you. We pray that you will help the Christians who live in these awful conditions to find a safe place to meet and worship you. Lord, we pray for all the problems that are in the world at this time. We pray for the children who are living in countries of war. We know all of them by name, and we pray that you give them the strength to carry on. We pray, Lord, that you will be with all those people who are ill at this time, that you will help them make a full, healthy and speedy recovery. And finally, we pray for those who do not know you, that you will open their eyes so they can see you are the only way to have eternal life. In your Son Jesus' name, Amen.
In this service, we would like to give you a glimpse of what the Sunday youth section have been studying each week, and give them the chance to pass on what they have learned over the past few months. And also just to prove that we don't just drink hot chocolate and eat biscuits, as some people think. Our study journey started back in September with a question, which was as follows. Does anyone know the most stolen book in the world? Anybody? Sorry?
The Bible.
Jack is right. The most stolen book in the world is the Bible. You can imagine the person's face who's just stolen a copy of the Bible, opening up to Exodus verse 15 and reading, "You must not steal." This led us into looking at how the Bible is made up and what different types of books and authors they are in it. And to find out how well the group knew the Bible, we set them a little test to find out if they could put the following events into the correct order they appear in the Bible. So we're now going to do the exact same test with yourselves. So some of our younger members of the church would like to come and give us a hand. We've got Elijah taken up to heaven, the death of John the Baptist, the Sermon on the Mount, fall of man, call of Moses, the crucifixion, Tower of Babel, anointing of David as king, and the conversion of Saul. So, anybody want to hazard a guess, or tell me which one was the first? I'm not sure about the answers. Yeah. So, Alan. Forward man. First. Is it right, you?
Yeah.
Yes, it's right. So, forward man. The first one.
So you want to come to the end?
Go to that end there. Yeah, go stand up to the front.
You can stand up. You come down the end.
So,
Stand behind. You'll hold that up.
the Lord is right, yes, the Tower of Babel.
Tower of Babel, okay. You stand there. We'll shuffle down a bit.
And the third one is Call of Moses.
Okay.
And now number 4. Am I good?
Anointing of David as king.
No. That's right, yes.
Who's got that?
That's Luke.
Down here.
And number 5. Elijah taking it to heaven, yes. We're starting to get good at this. Sorry. Right, number 6. Therefore, John, that's it. Number 8. We've got the crucifixion. Yeah. And then, anybody know the last one? That's right, conversion of soul. So, that was the easy part of the test. The next part is, can you tell us what parts of the Bible they're in? So, where would you find fall of man? Genesis 3. And the Tower of Babel, Genesis 11, verses 1 to 9. The call of Moses, Exodus 3, yes. The anointing of David as king. Yes, that's right. 1 Samuel 16. Elijah being taken up to heaven. 2 Kings, yeah. We've got 2 Kings 2. The Sermon on the Mount. Matthew, yeah, 5 to 7. And then we've got, for the next one, the death of John the Baptist, we've got 2. Matthew, one's in Matthew, and the other one is, well, we're at John, we're at Luke now, so that's it. The crucifixion, number 8. Matthew, yes. And then the conversion of soul is in Acts, that's it.
In the beginning, there was God. In 7 days, God created the entire universe. It took him 6 days to make it, and he rested for 1 day.
On the first day, the world was in darkness, until God said, "Let there be light." He saw the light was good and separated the two, calling one day and the other night.
On the second day, God said, "Let there be an expanse between the waters to separate water from water." He called the expanse sky.
Not that water.
On the third day, God ordered, "Let the water under the sky be gathered in one place, and let dry ground appear, and land and sea were created."
God also said on that day, "Let the land produce vegetation, and trees and plants were made, bearing fruits and seeds."
On the fourth day, God said, let there be lights in the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to make the seasons, days and years, and let them be lights to give light on the earth."
So the sun was created to govern the day, and the moon and stars were created to govern the night. On the fifth day, God said, "Let the waters teem with living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the sky." So God created sea creatures and every winged bird.
God blessed them and told them to be fruitful and multiply across all the earth.
On the sixth day, God said, "Let the land be filled with livestock, creatures that move along the ground, and wild animals."
Then God said, "Let us make man in our image and our likeness, and let them rule over the fish, the birds, the livestock, and all the creatures that move along the ground."
So God created the very first man and named him Adam, and the very first woman, which Adam called Eve. He blessed them and told them to be fruitful and multiply across all the earth.
On the seventh day, God rested. Adam and Eve weren't going to just enjoy the privileges of the earth, though. Just like all men, they sinned and messed things up.
Wow, God has given this whole amazing world to live in. I can't believe it.
I know he said we could eat from any tree in the garden, except for that one in the middle. If we touch it, we will die.
Now the serpent was more crafty than any other wild animal, and one day he approached the woman.
Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?
He said we could eat from any tree except that one in the middle, or we will die.
You will certainly not die, for God knows that when you eat the fruit, your eyes will be open, and you will become like Him, knowing good and evil.
Well, it does look good. Maybe I'll just try it and buy it. Wow, that is good. Try some, Adam.
Well, okay then.
Then their eyes were both open, and then they realised they were naked. So they covered themselves with
When they heard the voice of God, Adam and Eve panicked and tried to hide, but no one can hide from God. Adam and Eve were punished for their wrongdoing and banished from the garden.
because the serpent had tempted them. It was forced to crawl on its belly for the rest of the time.
When Adam and Eve ate the fruit and sinned against God, everything. What we learned from Adam and Eve's story was that when Adam and Eve sinned against God and ate the fruit, everything went pear-shaped. We all know the story of Noah very well, of course. God commanded Noah to build an ark. Noah gathered 2 of every kind of animal onto the ark. God flooded the world so that Noah and his family remained, and therefore wiped the world clean of sin. The topic in the story of Noah that you decided to discuss, though, was sin. Now, the dictionary definition of sin is an immoral act considered to be a transgression against the divine law. But, as youth, we decided to think of a different meaning of sin that was a lot more relatable for our generation. This is what we agreed sin meant for us. S. Shove off God. I am in charge. And N. No to your ways. A sinner arrow in archery is one that misses the mark. And when we sin, we miss the mark of perfection, a standard only God reaches. But, just like the flood washed away the sin of the world back in Noah's time, God sent us another flood that could cleanse us from our sins even now. And that was by sending His Son Jesus to die on the cross for us. Through Him, all our sins can be washed away.
A few of you may remember that a while ago the youth did a memory verse for Genesis to the tune of Frozen's Let It Go. Hannah, Philippa and Naomi are going to teach you that memory verse again, and then we'll see how many of you can remember.
I don't know how many of you remember when we did this memory verse a while ago, but I think me, Naomi and Philippa will sing it through once, and then we'll start trying to get you to remember it.
Because no one knew what to do anymore, the tower got left alone. And then God scattered all the people around the world.
I'd like to see it now.
We can't do things without God's help because He is in control. And we'll always show us He is in control when we try to go over it. Our next topic was the story of Abraham and Sarah. This captured our imagination, and we spent a few more weeks than John and Paul had planned.
Abraham, Sarah, and Isaac.
Abraham was a man of God, and he and his wife Sarah really wanted to have a child, but were too old to conceive.
But God made a covenant to Abraham one day. He said to him, "Look up at the heavens and count the stars. If indeed you can count them, so shall your offspring be."
But Abraham couldn't believe that this could happen, because Sarah was too old to have a child.
God has promised me that I will have as many children as stars in the sky. But how can this be?
I don't know. Maybe he meant that you would have a child with one of my servants, for I'm too old to be pregnant.
Abraham listened to Sarah instead of trusting God, and had a child of Hagar, one of her servants.
But God did not mean for Abraham to have children with one of Sarah's servants. God meant that Abraham's descendants would come from Sarah.
One day, some travellers visited Sarah and told her that she was pregnant. Sarah couldn't believe them and laughed at the news, but she was indeed with child.
9 months later, Sarah gave birth to a son. She called him Isaac, which means laughter, as she laughed when she first found out she was pregnant.
Abraham loved Isaac very much. But one day, the Lord wanted to test Abraham's loyalty to him. He told Abraham to take Isaac up a hill and sacrifice him to the Lord. Abraham was distraught, but didn't want to upset God, so told Isaac to come and make a sacrifice with him.
Father, how come we have not brought a lamb?
God will provide us with an offering.
When they reached the place, they built an altar, and Abraham tied Isaac to it. Just as Abraham was about to kill Isaac, though, an angel of the Lord called out,
Abraham, do not harm the boy. Now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld your only son from me.
Abraham untied Isaac, and a ram appeared in the thicket. Abraham called it and tied it to the altar, where they sacrificed that to God.
God now knew that Abraham had put all his faith in the Lord, and that he was a good and faithful servant.
Now we are going to sing hymn number 436, Lord Make Me a Mountain. After we finally finished doing Abraham, Sarah and Isaac, we moved on to the interesting story of Jacob and Esau.
Jacob and Esau. Isaac grew older and married a woman named Rebekah. Together they had 2 children, one named Jacob and the other named Esau. The Lord had told Rebekah that Esau and Jacob would be leaders of 2 great nations. Esau was hairy, skillful hunter, and a man of the open country. Jacob, on the other hand, stayed at home and cooked the meat in shops. One day, Esau came in from hunting, famished and exhausted.
Brother, please could you give me a bowl of soup? I'm so hungry.
First, sell me your birthright.
Jacob, I'm about to die. What good is a birthright to me?
Swear it to me.
Fine then.
So Esau swore an oath, selling his birthright to Jacob, and Jacob gave him some soup and bread. When Isaac was old and could barely see, he could call this to his son Esau.
Esau, my son, I am an old man and will die soon. Get your arrows and go out and look for me. Then bring me back, prepare it, and let me eat it. Then I will bless you.
Yes, Father.
Rebecca overheard this conversation and went to find Jacob. Rebecca wanted to trick Isaac into giving Jacob the blessing, as he was her favourite son.
Jacob, go out to the flocks and bring me 2 goats. After that, I will prepare them in the way your father likes them, and then he will give you the blessing instead.
Okay, Mum, but Esau's like really hairy. How will I get away if he touches me?
Here, put this on.
So Jacob went and got 2 goats, and Rebekah cooked them ready for Isaac. Jacob took the stew to his father.
Who is it?
It is your firstborn, Esau.
Come here, let me touch you so I know it's you.
Isaac touched Jacob and felt the hairiness of Esau, so he blessed him to rule all over his brother's people and over the land. Jacob left just as Esau came in.
Father, I have brought you the game I hunted. Now bless me, your firstborn.
If you were Esau, then who did I just bless?
Jacob has tricked me! First he takes my birthright, and now please, Father, bless me too!
I've already given my blessing to Jacob.
Please, Father, please, any blessing you have left!
Isaac gave Esau the best blessing he had left. Esau had a grudge against Jacob. From then on, he swore that when Isaac died, he would kill his brother. Knowing this, Rebekah told Jacob to run away. Eventually, Jacob made it to Canaan, which is where the story of Joseph begins.
Way back many centuries ago, not long after the time began.
No, we're not doing the musical version.
Fine! Jacob had 12 sons: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Naphtali, Issachar, Asher, Dan, Zebulun, Gad, Judah, Benjamin, and his favourite, Joseph. Because Joseph was his favourite son, Jacob made him a coat of many colours. Hannah, I said coat, not wig. Sorry, but we couldn't find the coat. Wait a minute.
Carry on.
Anyway, when Joseph's brothers saw his coat, they all got extremely jealous and could no longer speak a kind word to him. What made matters worse were the dreams that Joseph had.
I had a dream that we were gathering sheaves of grain, when suddenly my sheaf rose and stood up, and your sheaves all fell down to it.
Do you plan to rule over us? Will you actually rule us?
Joseph had a second dream about the sun, moon, and 11 stars bowing down to him. This angered his brothers even further. One day, Joseph's brothers were out in the fields watching the sheep, when Jacob sent Joseph to them.
Come here. Go check on your brothers looking after the sheep, and also bring me back some wood.
No problem, Dad.
Here comes the dreamer. Let's feed him to the animals, see what his dreams become.
No, don't kill him. Let's throw him in the well instead.
So when Joseph arrived, they ripped his coat off him and threw him into the well. Just as they were about to leave, the Israelites were passed on camels. The brothers went after them and sold Joseph to them as a slave. They then took Joseph's coat, smeared some animal blood on it, and took it to Jacob to tell him that Joseph had been killed by an animal.
Father, I'm sorry, but there's one more angel in heaven.
We aren't doing that version! Honestly, his father read the news and vowed he would never stop mourning him. Meanwhile, Joseph had been taken to Egypt to work for a man named Potiphar. The Lord was with Joseph, and Potiphar soon realized that Joseph was a good man. Joseph got promoted more and more until he was put in charge of the household. Unfortunately, though, Potiphar's wife had taken a liking to Joseph and wanted to sleep with him.
Come with me, Joseph.
Your father has entrusted me with all of his possessions. Why would I sin against God by doing such a wicked thing?
Potiphar's wife got angry that Joseph refused to sleep with her, so she told Potiphar that Joseph had tried to take advantage of her. Potiphar got so angry that he threw Joseph into prison. We aren't doing the musical! Moving on. The Lord was with Joseph, and the prison warden saw this, promoting Joseph to guard over all the other prisoners. After some time, the Pharaoh's cupbearer and baker arrived in prison, and the captain of the guard assigned them to Joseph. After they had been in the cell for some time, they both had a dream.
Why do you both look so sad?
We both had dreams last night.
But no one's there to interpret them.
Don't interpretations belong to God? Tell me your dreams.
The cupbearer went first, telling the dream when he came across a vine with 3 branches, which bloomed in front of him. He squeezed the grapes into a cup and placed it in Pharaoh's hand.
Good news, my friend. The 3 branches are 3 days. After those days, you shall return to Pharaoh's cupbearer. But when all goes well for you, remember me and mention me to Pharaoh to get me out of here.
After hearing this, the baker was eager to tell Joseph his dream, in which he was carrying 3 baskets of bread. He was carrying them to Pharaoh, but then a bird came down and ate them all.
Unfortunately, my friend, your dream means that after 3 days, you shall be executed and the birds will eat away at your flesh.
No! In 3 days' time, Pharaoh restored the cupbearer to his job, but hung the baker, just as Joseph had predicted. The cupbearer didn't remember Joseph, though, and so Joseph was stuck in prison for another 2 years. Yes, we've heard quite enough of that, thank you. So one night, Pharaoh had a dream. He called for every wise man in Egypt to try and interpret it, but no one could. That's when the cupbearer remembered Joseph still in prison. The Pharaoh ordered for Joseph to be brought to him, and so he was.
Tell me your dream, and the Lord will show me what it means.
Well, I was walking along down the banks of the river when 7 fat cows came out of the night.
What you want?
Just let me tell the story! So Pharaoh explained his dream to Joseph, and he knew immediately what it meant.
The 7 fat cows mean that Egypt is going to have 7 years of plenty, with lots of spare food. Unfortunately, the thin cows eating the fat cows mean that there's going to be a famine across Egypt for 7 years.
Joseph suggested they store up all the food during the 7 years of plenty, so that when the famine came, they would have lots of food left to spare. Pharaoh was so impressed with Joseph that he gave him gold chariots, fancy jewellery, posh clothes, and put him in charge of organising the food. Joseph soon became the second most important man in all of Egypt. The 7 years of plenty passed and the famine began. Egypt has plenty, but back in Canaan, where Joseph's family were, they desperately needed food. Jacob was very old now and sent his other son to go and buy food from Egypt. When they arrived, they went to ask Joseph for food. They did not recognize him, but Joseph knew who they were.
Your servants have come to buy food, for we are in great famine.
How do I know that you are not spies that have come to see where the land is unprotected?
Can you accuse
Joseph had remembered remembered his dreams about the corn bowing down to him. He wanted to prove to the brothers that it was a message from God. His brothers responded, begging him to give them food. Joseph nodded his head and filled their sacks with grain and money. In his youngest brother Benjamin's sack, though, Joseph put a silver goblet in. Just as the brothers were about to leave, Joseph called out,
Wait! One of you has stolen my goblet!
The brothers emptied their sacks out, swearing they hadn't. When the cup rolled out of Benjamin's sack, Joseph ordered his guards to lock Benjamin up, but the other brothers all protested.
Oh no, naughty.
They all bowed down at Joseph's feet, begging him to lock the others without Benjamin, as Jacob had made them promise to look after him at all costs. Joseph could no longer hide his identity, so he told them who he was.
My brothers, it's me, Joseph, the one you thought to be dead. Is our father still alive and well?
The brothers couldn't believe it was really him. They embraced him, and Joseph sent them home to get his father, so that Jacob could see him before he died. The brothers travelled back to Canaan and told Jacob the news. Jacob immediately set off to Egypt to see the son he thought to be dead. Joseph asked Pharaoh if they could live in Egypt with Joseph, and Pharaoh agreed.
The world and I, we are still waiting, still hesitating. Any dream will do, any dream will do, any dream will do.
So, there you are. Genesis, the book of beginnings, in less than an hour. Oh, hello. The book of beginnings in less than an hour. So on the first video we did Genesis in a minute, and then we're doing it now in just less than an hour. So, we hope you all enjoyed the presentation that we've just done, that the youth have done. As you can see, they worked very hard on it, and there's a lot of work and effort gone into it. Oldham by themselves are hastening to art, me and Paul sort of tried to guide where we can, and then Claire's tried to guide us in turn as well. We're also in order, the whole thing back together. But anyway, I think it did go very well. But the thing is, what did we actually learn from Genesis? As Paul was saying at the beginning, we started this little journey 4 or 5 months ago, and at that time we tried to look at the whole Bible, but we kind of got stuck in Genesis. And I think we've learned a lot from it. There's a lot to take out of the book. And we have learned a lot from it. So what we try to do here this morning is to take the major characters in Genesis and have a look at them. Now, there are some great men of God in the book of Genesis. And the interesting thing is when you start looking at them, basically most of them messed up at some stage. We tend to think of these people in the Bible as being great pillars of the Bible, of the Old Testament, but they got it wrong and they messed up quite often. So what I want to try and do now, really, I'm not going to take a lot of your time, I'm going to give a long talk. I just want to do a little resume of what we've done and then just put in what we've learned from it as a group. So, we started off with Adam and Eve, right at the beginning. Most people know the story of Adam and Eve, a very well-known story from school, from junior school. Of course, Adam and Eve were put into this perfect garden. They were given free rein to eat anything they liked except the tree in the centre of the garden. They were told not to touch that and not to eat from it. And of course, you know what happened? Eve was tempted by the serpent. The serpent came along and said, there's an apple from this, and there was an apple or whatever. Eve took it, she offered it to her husband, and of course, as I said earlier, she took the apple and all went pear-shaped. So they got kicked out of the Garden of Eden, and that's what happened to them. So then, next one we talked to was Noah. And of course, Noah was a man of God. Now, this is a slightly different story. Noah was, again, given instruction by God. Like Adam and Eve were given instruction. His instruction was to build an ark. And Noah listened to that instruction, and he started building the ark. And he got a lot of ridicule. He was made fun of, he was ridiculed, it was dry, it was sunny, there's no water around, and did he listen to the people around him, or did he listen to God? He listened to God. And he built the ark, and of course, eventually the flood came along to, as we see on the illustration, wash away the sin that was first came into the Garden of Eden. He built the ark, and he and his family, and the animals he took with him, were saved. So that was kind of a good news story. So then we moved on to Abraham. We started to have a look at the story of Abraham. So, well, Abraham, one of them, or as Tom's getting reminded at this stage, Abraham at this stage. It was Abraham slightly later. But he was the father of Israel, one of the Old Testament greats. So we think, well, surely he must have got things right. But no, God promised Abraham a son. And we had a look at this. His son was promised, but of course, he grew older, him and Sarah grew older, and eventually, I think patience probably ran out, and Sarah said to Abraham at that time, look, I'm getting old, this is not going to happen, is this? We're not going to have children, so I think you should take my servant girl. So his young servant girl, Hagar, and Sarah said to Abraham, take her and have a family with her. So Abraham, he was listening to God, and he listened to his wife. He listens to his wife, and what he does, he takes Hagar and has a child with Hagar. So Hagar, and then along comes Ishmael, and we had a look at Ishmael and the effect and the influence that had. And we're not going to go into that this morning, but of course we looked at the connection with Islam that came through that as well, and and all the problems that came out of that. So, but at least after this story, Abraham did seem to learn his lesson, because when he and Sarah eventually did have a son, which was Isaac, and again as we saw in the sketch there, God told Abraham to sacrifice Isaac. And off he went, tied him up, he was about to kill him. God said, whoa, no, don't do that. Provided a ram, but Abraham had been tested, and he passed the ultimate test. So he did listen to God in the end. So, then off we go with Isaac next. We move on to Isaac. Isaac, who married Rebekah, and had two sons, Esau and Jacob. As the video clips said, they had a few identity problems. And, of course, Isaac married Rebekah, and it was Rebekah who encouraged Jacob to deceive his father Isaac. Because, of course, Esau was the eldest. Esau was entitled to the birthright, but Rebekah wanted Jacob to have that. So, at this point, it was actually pointed out by one of our members of the youth group. Does anybody notice a bit of a trend going on here? We had Eve, we've had Sarah, we've had Rebecca. Certain members of our group seem to take note of which sex seems to be the troublemakers. The fact that we have more girls than boys, that's the other point, of course. The men are supposed to be the head of the family, they're supposed to be strong ones, so they shouldn't listen to their wives necessarily all the time. But anyway, we won't digress on that one too much. But Esau was understandably furious with the situation. He lost his birthright, and he was furious and he wanted to kill Jacob. So Jacob fled and ran off to another country. We then followed Jacob through a little bit further and found that Jacob got into trouble again later on, and Jacob ran from that country back to where Esau was. And of course, he wasn't going to go straight up to Esau, so he sent some of his servants ahead to go and check the land out. But Esau forgave Jacob. So at this point, we learned about betrayal, and we also learned about forgiveness. And that was a lesson we learned from that. So then we go on to Jacob. Jacob married twice. He had 12 kids who went on to become known as the 12 tribes of Israel. And Joseph, which was the last story of there, because Joseph was his favourite. And Joseph is a very inspirational story, I think, most we found from looking at it. Joseph was a man of God. We looked at the life of Harwood, and the musical's well known, so I think most people know the story of Joseph. But sometimes you think you're going through tough times yourself, things aren't very good, you think things aren't working out necessarily. But look at Joseph's situation. Look where he was hated by his brothers. He was sold into slavery by his family. And then just when things started getting back together again, he was getting back on his feet, and he was working for Potiphar at the time. What happened then? He was falsely accused, and he was thrown back into prison. And while he was in prison, through interpretation of dreams, he helped out his fellow prisoners, and the one who managed to escape, to get one of them out, he said, well, look, when you get out, just remember me, will you put a word in for me? And what happened? They forgot him, so he was stuck in prison. So Joseph had a bit of a raw deal in many ways, but did we hear him being bitter? Did we hear him complaining? No, Joseph stuck to it. He was a man of God, he listened to God, he trusted God, and Joseph eventually came out to the other side, ended up being Pharaoh's right-hand man, and he ended up basically saving the known world from the famine at the time. So that was Joseph, a very inspirational story. So what did we learn? What was the key thing that we learned from this? And I think the key thing that we learned from it is that if you listen to God, if you do things God's way, things tend to work out at the end. But if you don't listen to God, and you do things your own way, more often than not, it ends up being messed up. And I think that was the key thing that we took. Looking at all these characters in Genesis, that was the key thing that we took out of it. How important it is to listen to God, and to read His Word, and to follow it through. Not just ignore God and do your own thing, because that's when things go wrong. And that was our key thing that we learned from this. And this morning, we'd like to encourage you to put your trust in God this morning. To trust Him with your own life. And even when things aren't going great, and maybe things aren't going as well as you might want them to go, stick with it. Stick with God, stick with His Word, and things will work out. And I just want to read one verse out on here, which some people we didn't actually look at this, but before we went into Proverbs, slightly before we did Genesis, but one particular, chapter 3 of Proverbs, verses 5 and 6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight." So don't try to sort it your way, hand it over to God, and allow Him to sort it for you. And that really is what we're going to encourage you this morning. We've been encouraged by studying it. We've had a good time looking for the last 4 months, looking through it. We've been hugely encouraged, and we want to pass that encouragement on to you. And as Paul said earlier, it's like this morning, one of the things this morning is just to share with you what we do with it. You see us go out and one thing is we have hot chocolates and coffee and biscuits. We do, you know, on other occasions we're going to pinch the best biscuits, and I know there's been many occasions we've got in trouble with Marilyn in the past for that. But we have learned a lot through it, and we just want to share that with you and encourage you with what we've been encouraged with. And now to finish the service today, we were going to sing hymn number 1008. So 1008 in the book, which will be on the overhead, "The Lord's my Shepherd." Come on, you stop here. Come on.
A lot of people, not the youth, turn around and say, "You don't have no respect. You don't care." You've restored the faith in youth. You worked hard, you studied hard, and you put on the show this morning brilliance. I'd like to thank you.